Hello golfers, we're in my academy outside Chicago and we're talking about Cameron Smith, latest winner on the PGA Tour. What can we learn from such a fundamentally sound golf swing? Well, first off, I have to start off with the most important thing, and that is the club face. And Cameron Smith manages the club face very well. But some of you have noticed a little kind of move he makes at the top in transition. I'm going to have some thoughts on that, on who can do what he can do and who should do what he can do, even if he can do it, if that made sense. But anyways, let's talk about the club face first, because this would benefit 90% of you. I cannot tell you how many times on the lesson tee with amateur players, this is probably the number one takeaway right here. This rolling motion, the hands actually move out. So I call this hands out, club in. And this is what we call pronation of the lead forearm here. Basically, that makes the club face get into a laid back position or an open position. Interestingly enough, as soon as you move a club face, it is more open than it was at address, okay? So amateur golfers, the 90% of golfers out there that slice, probably should never intentionally make a move at any point in their swing to get the club face already more open than it is. So look at how Cameron Smith does that. This is how he does it. Basically, from setup, again, I had a mentor that used to say, your hands are not your fans. And in other words, don't use them into your takeaway, because he thought a lot of amateur golfers kind of thought this was using their hands an awful lot, even though we know that it's the rolling of these joints. Your hands are not your fans, so let's deactivate them a little bit, and let's feel like this left shoulder, as we turn back, moves down, because a lot of you rollers that get the club face open get the shoulder up early, okay? That left shoulder's got to move down as I rotate back. And then I always, about halfway back, want to make sure that the club face is still looking at the ball, which means it will match your inclination to the ground. So that would look something like this. Rotate back, club face is still looking at the ball and kind of matches my lower back line. I'm not saying you can't play golf from a toe-up position. There's a lot of professionals that do so. All right, all I'm saying is this is one of those times where I got to talk to the masses here and tell you that all that early roll, you are on, at best, a makeup mission from that moment after in your swing. So be a little bit more like Cameron Smith. Take the club back, have the club a little bit outside your hands and still looking at the ball. Next, I think Cameron has struggled with this in the past. It looks like he's made some progress here. Looks like his arms will also work away from him in his takeaway. And we see that a little bit. And again, that's another one of those things. I can't tell you that that's a bad thing. Dustin Johnson, in fact, when he has a takeaway, his left arm likes to move kind of up, out, and away. And again, for most of you, that's going to be very tough to manage as you take the club back and transition. Again, just like this is on my lesson tee a lot when I see amateur golfers, so is this, where the hands and arms, that golfer is not controlling the amount of lift. They have a lot of early lift in their swing, and it looks like Cameron Smith has kind of sewn that up a little bit. I'm going to show you how to do that, just use an alignment rod down like this. Put it at a little bit of an angle. And then what this is a grid, and it's kind of simulating the path I want to feel like my hands travel on. Okay, so if I have a lot of early lift, I probably also have a lot of early roll, just like that. Now I want to feel like my hands kind of move in a little bit, on my left side moves down a little bit, and the club face stays looking at the golf ball. From that beautiful takeaway, Cam Smith gets up into a flex position. But some of you are noticing what he's doing with his trail shoulder. And when I was getting into golf, I was told to hold the tray in my backswing. So let's define that real quick. So when this elbow kind of pinches, so when you're up here, this kind of pinches that way as the club's swinging back, that's what we're calling hold the tray in the backswing. Now, we physically screen all of our golfers in Chicago, so we can tell you if that is even an achievable thing for you. I'm gonna be honest, for most of you it isn't. Sorry, but I'm not sorry, because I'm gonna tell also those of you that can do it, you may or may not want to do it. It depends what the needs of the golfer is. I mean, are we here to maximize or are we here to harmonize? Okay? If you wanted to hit it further, or you just physically don't screen out to someone that could even attempt to make that move of holding the tray in the backswing, which is essentially that the right forearm at the top of the swing, right-handed golfer, is more at a perpendicular angle to the ground, and I am at this inclination, so this is at a perpendicular. That is external rotation of the trail shoulder in the backswing, or hold the tray. So we just need a tray, right? Well, I don't got any food trays, but I do have a ball tray. Should I externally rotate the trail arm in the backswing, or should I have it internal? What's the pros and cons of both? Well, first off, you can screen yourself if you can do the 90-90, right? So basically, this tests how much external rotation you have. Kind of rotate it back like that, and even go into your golf posture like so, and rotate it back, okay? Some of you will bend forward and not be able to get this arm any further back than that, okay? If that is the case, holding the tray in the backswing, it ain't you, man, all right? But I did say, even if you test out for having some range of motion there, you may still not want to do it. Why? Because there's been a whole heck of a lot of great players, especially our long drive players, but I'm thinking Freddie Couples, right, up at the top. I also think of Larry Nelson, John Daly, all that are in internal rotation of the trail shoulder. Think about when the quarterback drops back, shoulder's internally rotated, and then he goes to externally rotated before he throws it. I guess he could put it back like this and run backwards, but again, I'm in Chicago, man. I've seen enough bad quarterbacking. I think it's probably better and more powerful and more accurate to go like this, right? And it's gonna help you in the golf swing as well. So, hold the tray in the backswing. Most of you out there probably should spill the tray. This is how it's gonna look. So it's gonna go back. Again, here it'd be holding the tray a little bit more like Cam Smith. He just does it earlier. I think you should do it later. So I would say most of you probably should spill the tray. So if there was drinks on there, I dropped it. So never hold the tray. Is that the key? No. Spill it in the backswing. Catch them in the downswing. Here we go. Spill in the backswing. Catch it in the downswing. Spill in the backswing. Catch it in the downswing. Okay? You guys heard a lot about getting shallow. That is a big component of it. Internal rotation of the shoulder, external rotation of the shoulder in the transition and downswing. Spill the drinks, catch the drinks. Let's try to do it just like Cam Smith. So I'm going to make sure the club stays looking at the golf ball. I'm going to allow my arms some freedom up here. I'm going to be internally rotated. So back in the day, I was told that this was a flying elbow. But really what it is, it's a powerful one. And then I'm going to catch the drinks. I'm going to hold the tray like Cam, but I'm going to do it later. I'm going to do it on my downswing, and then we're going to hit it. Spill the tray going back. Hold the tray coming down. And manage your wrist angles so you can manage that club face just like Cam Smith. See ya.